Good morning, children. Today, learning subject is Science for 9th Standard, Unit 13. Last class, we studied about what is a chemical bond, octet rule, and what is an ionic or electrovalent bond, and what are the properties of ionic compounds. Now, this session, we are going to study about what is a covalent bond and how the covalent bond is formed in some molecules and what are the properties of the covalent compounds. Now, covalent bond, we studied in the last class, that is electrovalent bond is the complete transfer of one or two electrons from one atom to another atom to form the stable electronic configuration of just like inert gas. So, even now covalent bond means the sharing of electron between two atoms to get a stable electronic configuration just like inert gases. That is called covalent bond. And many illustrations are given in your book. That is formation of hydrogen molecule, formation of chlorine molecule, and formation of methane molecule, etc. And formation of covalent bond. How the covalent bond is formed? Let us consider two atoms A and B. Atom A has one valence electron and atom B has 7 valence electron. Now here in the diagram it is given two atoms A and B. Okay, A has only one electron and B has 7 electron in the outermost orbit. Okay, so as these atoms approach nearer to each other, each atom contributes one electron and the resulting electron pair fills the outer shell of both the atoms. Thus, both atoms acquire completely filled valence shell electronic configuration, which leads to stability. So, when you take this A and B, the outermost orbit electron is represented as X in A, and out of in B, it is represented as one small square. Okay. So, when A and B combines together to form AB, that is the shared pair of electron is represented here X and one small square. So, when these electrons are shared between A and B, they will get a stable electronic configuration. Now, A, one atom, and B, another atom. When these two atoms are sharing electron, what will happen as a result of this? The bond formed between A and B is covalent bond. Okay. And the next one, more to know. Covalent bonds are of three types. Single covalent bond represented by a line, that is only one small line between the atoms. Example, H bond H. And a double covalent bond is represented by a double line between the two atoms. Example, O, oxygen, double bond O. And triple bond represented by a triple line between the two atoms. Example, N, triple bond N. Now, coming to the formation of hydrogen molecule. Hydrogen molecule is formed by two hydrogen atoms. While forming the molecule, both hydrogen atoms contribute one electron each to the shared pair, and both atoms acquire stable and completely filled electronic configuration. Okay. Now, this is the structure of one hydrogen atom. One hydrogen atom means there is only one electron is present in the outermost orbit, and for this hydrogen atom also one electron is present in the outermost orbit. So, when one hydrogen atom combines with another hydrogen atom, these two electrons are shared between two hydrogen atoms. That's what given in the diagram. See, the electrons are shared 1, 2. So, when we take this hydrogen, 2 electrons are present, and for this hydrogen 2 electrons are present. So, there will be the stable electronic configuration just like the nearest inert gas. Okay, and these two are the shared pair of electrons. And the next one, formation of chlorine molecule. Chlorine molecule is formed by two chlorine atoms. Each chlorine atom has 7 valence electron. These two atoms achieve a stable, completely filled electronic configuration octet by sharing a pair of electrons. See, this is one chlorine molecule and this is another chlorine molecule. Okay. See, chlorine atom and this is another chlorine atom. See, usually the electronic configuration will be 2, 8, 7. Okay. And for this also 2, 8, 7. and the last orbit has got 7 electron, and for this chlorine atom also has 7 electron in the outermost orbit. So when one chlorine atom combines with another chlorine atom, resulting in the formation of a chlorine molecule, what will happen? These two electrons, that is the one electron from the one chlorine atom, another one electron from the other chlorine atom are shared between each other, and as a result for this chlorine 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, and for this chlorine also 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Thus they got the stable electronic configuration just like the inert gases. And then coming to the formation of methane molecule. Methane molecule is formed by the combination of one carbon and 4 hydrogen atom. The carbon atom has 4 valence electron, and these 4 electrons are shared with 4 atoms of hydrogen to achieve a stable electronic configuration by sharing a pair of electrons. So you take the structure of methane. The symbol for methane is CH4, isn't it? So the carbon, how many electrons in the outermost orbit? 1 2 3 4. 4 electrons are in the outermost orbit. And for hydrogen, each hydrogen will have 1 electron in the outermost orbit. 1 2 3 4. So 1 electron is present in the outermost orbit. So when carbon combines with the hydrogen, what will happen? The methane molecule will be formed, and all the 4 electron present in the outermost orbit of the 4 hydrogen atom is shared to the 4 electrons of the carbon atom. So you see the structure. The hydrogen, it is carbon, it is represented is in red color, and for hydrogen it is represented as green color. Okay, now you see the diagram. For this hydrogen is sharing this see green color electron, and this hydrogen green color electron, and for this hydrogen and this hydrogen. And similarly the 4 red electrons, red color electrons are present in the outermost orbit of carbon. So as a result, after sharing, what will happen? For this carbon 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, 8 electrons are present in the outermost orbit of carbon, and for this hydrogen 1 and 2. So 2 electrons are present in the outermost orbit, and for this hydrogen 1 2, 2 electron. For this hydrogen 1 2, 2 electron, and for this hydrogen 2 electron. So the outermost orbit of hydrogen is also satisfied, and the outermost orbit of carbon is also satisfied by having 8 electrons, thus proving the octet role. And the formation of oxygen molecule. And oxygen molecule is formed by 2 oxygen atoms. Each oxygen atom has 6 valence electron. These 2 atoms achieve a stable electronic configuration octet by sharing 2 pairs of electron. Hence a double bond is formed between the 2 atoms. So this is the structure of oxygen atom. That is first shell, K shell, 2 electron, red color, and in the second orbit 6 electron, 1 2 3 4 5 6. When one oxygen atom combined with the other oxygen atom, see the first oxygen atom, the electrons are represented as dots, and in the second oxygen atom the electrons are represented as just like a star shape. Okay, so when these 2 atoms combines together, what will happen? These 2 electrons are shared equally between the 2 oxygen atoms. See, now count the number of electrons for this: 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. And for this oxygen atom 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So thus proving the octet rule, they have got the stable electronic configuration. Since 2 electrons are shared, the bond between 2 oxygen atom is O, double bond O. Now the formation of nitrogen molecule. Nitrogen molecule is formed by 2 nitrogen atoms. Each nitrogen atom has 5 valence electron. These 2 atoms achieve a stable, completely filled electronic configuration octet by sharing 3 pair of electron. Hence a triple bond is formed in between the 2 atoms. See, now you take the structure of nitrogen atom. See, first orbit 2 electron, second orbit 5, 1 2 3 4 5, and for this nitrogen atom 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, so this is represented as dots, and this is represented as small dot structure. When 2 nitrogen atom combines together, what will happen? These 3 electron and these 3 electrons are shared between the 2 nitrogen atom. When you see the diagram for this nitrogen, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So 8 electrons are there. and for this nitrogen 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So octet rule, they have got the stable electronic configuration 2 comma 8 and 2 comma 8. Since 3 electrons are shared between 2 nitrogen atom, here the triple bond is present. Now characteristics of covalent compounds. As said earlier, the properties of compounds depend on the nature of the bonding between their constituent atoms. So the compounds containing covalent bonds possess different characteristics when compared to ionic compounds. The properties of the compounds depends upon the type of bond, whether it is a covalent bond or ionic bond or coordinate bond, like that. So based on this, the characters of the compounds will be can be predicted. Physical state, depending on force of attraction between covalent molecule, the bond may be weaker or stronger. So the covalent bond when we take the covalent bond, it may be strong bond or it will be a weak bond. So depending upon the strength of the bond, the covalent compound may be solid or liquid or gas. And for example, gaseous state oxygen, liquid water, diamond solid. Electrical conductivity, covalent compounds do not contain charged particle ion, so they are bad conductors of electricity. See, ionic compounds, they have charged particle, but in covalent compounds they don't have any charged particle, so they are poor conductor of electricity. Melting point, except a few covalent compounds, diamond, silicon carbide, they have already low melting point compared to ionic compounds. Compared to ionic compounds, the ions are held together by strong electrostatic forces of attraction, so very much energy is needed to separate them. But here it is not so. Except diamond and silicon carbide, the melting point and the point of the covalent compounds are very low solubility. Covalent compounds are readily soluble in non-polar solvents like benzene, carbon tetrachloride, and they are insoluble in polar solvents like water. Solubility, they are insoluble in water and soluble in non-polar solvents like benzene and C6H6 and carbon tetrachloride CCl4. Now hardness and brittleness. Covalent compounds are neither hard nor brittle, but they are soft and waxy. So they are neither hard, they won't be hard, and they are not brittle also, but they are very soft and waxy. And reactions, covalent compounds undergo molecular reactions in solutions, and those reactions are slow. Now covalent ionic compounds reactions are very rapid, very fast, isn't it? But here in the covalent compounds, they undergo molecular reactions in solution, and these reactions are also it is very slow. It won't go very fast, it takes place very slowly. Now more to know, polar solvents contain bonds between atoms which with very different electronegativity, such as oxygen and hydrogen. Ionic compounds are soluble in polar solvents like water, ethanol, acetic acid and ammonia. So polar solvents, the electronegativity between the atoms with very different electronegativity. The electronegativity value of oxygen and hydrogen, they vary. They will have different electronegativity values. So ionic compounds are soluble in polar solvents. And non-polar solvents contain bond between atoms with similar electronegativity, such as carbon and hydrogen. But when you take the covalent non-polar solvents like carbon and hydrogen, they will have the same similar electronegativity value, so that the covalent compounds are soluble in non-polar solvents. Example, acetone, benzene, toluene and turpentine. Here I finished this. I hope all the students could have understood what is a covalent bond, and some illustrations are given for hydrogen, then chlorine molecule, formation of methane, formation of oxygen and formation of nitrogen, and the properties of covalent compounds are all I explained. I hope I could have you all could have understood this. Thank you.